Oh, hi, Jerry. So let's go with another segment. This has been a fascinating journey so far. I'm enjoying the journey. Never mind where we're going with this. Just before I give it over to you, because you're now going to show us how some of this is done, I just want to reinforce an important point. Make sure people have really got this, because it's core to everything, isn't it? The reason you call it healing the me I see in you is that a person projects their stuff onto their loved one or neighbors and strangers. You're projecting it on the other person. So if you think that person's always angry, guess what? It's because you're always angry. It took me many years to work this out, by the way, and I came on it by chance. With my first wife, I wrote a list. What don't I like? And wrote it down. I thought, wait a minute, I'm not going to go into it all, but one of them was, she doesn't communicate. She just clams up. And I suddenly thought, my God, I don't communicate that well with her, but I'm really stopping her talking. It's me blocking her. And then I bitch that she's blocked. It's a strange thing. But once you start to realize it, it was too late, unfortunately, with that relationship. She already had her plans laid and was gone down the road. But, I got the point just in time. And she said to me recently, she came over and stayed, and she said, I wished I'd listened when you were saying that. I'm okay. I'm now married to the most wonderful girl in the world, so I'm really happy. Really happy. But anyway, so just back to that point, that it's your stuff that you think is in the other person, and we've got to break that. This is what's important about this hack or mind hack or the healing, is the person has to get it. So over to you, Maestro. I love this process, and I want you to talk us through it now.
Okay,
and I'm a willing guinea pig. Yeah.
I just want. I appreciate that, and thank you for volunteering. I just want to remind people, since we did the Venn diagrams in the last session, the map is not the territory. And those Venn diagrams, there are 7 of them, but there could have been 1 million of them. There could have been 3. It's just a way to understand it, but don't get locked into the 7 and diagrams. And that's true about just about any system. There are all kinds of systems that pigeonhole people. Say, well, I don't want to be pigeonholed. Well, like even whether it's physical closeness or emotional closeness, they all have overlaps. We just chunked it as a way to understand it.
Yeah. Yes. And it works. Yeah.
So we're going to get into some of the exercises. We're going to start with a very, very simple exercise that is on page 43 at the bottom half. And
my book's over there, so if I look that way, it's because I've got it on my second screen, Jay. I'll try not to look. I'm just listening to you.
Okay. Well, perhaps you might have thought or even said, and this might apply more to your first marriage, if only my partner blank, or if only my partner would blank, then I'd feel better. You might have filled in the blank with things, if only my partner would change, if only my partner were different.
If only she would talk was mine. If she only talked to me, I'm sure we could just talk to me.
Yes. Or was more romantic, or not so mushy, or made love to me more often, or made love to me less often, or paid more attention to me, or gave me more space. But consider the possibility that the way you feel is because you chose to feel that way. Your partner doesn't make you feel way. In fact, when you say your partner makes me feel that way, or anybody makes me feel that way, you're really giving away your power. Whether you're saying my partner makes me happy or my partner makes me sad, your partner does whatever they do. You respond how you respond. And it's not about your circumstances. I remember this wonderful quote from the Buddha. Pain is a given, suffering is optional.
I love it. Yes, I have heard that. Isn't it good?
So now, Keith, you said you would be willing to be the guinea pig on this one. We're going to move to the exercise on page 44, but rather than the exercise is made for somebody reading it, and so it has them close their eyes for 10 seconds and open their eyes and read the next one. Yeah. What I'm going to do for you, if you don't mind, is I'll just read them, and you can just keep your eyes closed and feel the different feelings.
Yes, I can.
They'll be about 10 seconds apiece.
My mind, my psyche is available to the world.
Okay, and I have to be careful about shaking this table, because I know that when I shake the table, the camera shakes. So I'll try to be more sensitive. All right, so we're going to go over to this exercise now. And so first you close your eyes, and then for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling sad. And you could do that, for example, by remembering something that, you felt sad about, or you could just imagine something that, would make you end up feeling sad. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It could be, you go to the store to get your favorite ice cream and your flavor's gone, or, anything that you just feel a little sad about. And just let me know when you got that. Okay. So now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling anxious.
Yeah.
Okay. And now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling fearful.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling resentful.
Mm-hmm. That was too easy. I don't like that. I'll come back to that.
Easier than others, yes. Now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling frustrated.
Yes.
Now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling angry.
Yes.
All right. Now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling hostile.
Yes.
Okay. Now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling pain.
Yeah. Gosh, I noticed that my body just froze.
Yeah. In fact, point to where you feel your pain coming from.
Yeah. Can you see out on camera?
No. Yeah.
Here.
Well, notice that you're not pointing at anybody else, Keith.
Oh yeah.
All right. So now close your eyes again, and for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling pleased. You like that one?
That's better. Yeah.
All right. And now for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling very happy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for about 10 seconds, feel yourself feeling peace and love.
It's funny that one. It changes your breathing, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. And we'll get to that in one of the next exercises.
Oh, do we have to move on? Can I stay here?
You can stay there. Well, you can stay wherever you like. You have free will.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's nice.
The point of this now is, how did you create those feelings? Your circumstances didn't change in the past 2 minutes. You didn't have anybody come in and attack you, and nobody could have said you won the lottery, did they?
No, nothing happened. There's nobody here, just me.
How did you change it? How did you change your feeling?
Oh, I'm pretty good at making feelings happen. We're all damn good at it, but most of us are not aware. I don't take the credit for making it happen. But I was definitely building this inside, and you have to create certain thoughts to get certain feelings, I find.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the thoughts that create the feelings.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not your circumstances. Nothing happened inside that room, at least not while I was looking.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next exercise. This is a very short one. Who bothers you and how? Write down 5 things about other people that you think bother you.
Oh, you mean what type of person, not necessarily an individual?
Oh, it could be either way.
Yeah, either way, yeah. But I mean,
it could be lousy drivers, or it could be, a specific lousy driver that cut you off yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it happens about 5 times an hour here in Vegas.
Yes. And if you can't,
so you got to put aggressive drivers. I have to do that.
Sure. And if you can't narrow it down to 5, you can write a few more. But if you can't think of 5, then maybe think about 5 things about other people you think might bother you if what they were doing were to go on and get worse and worse. Are you writing 5 there, Keith?
Well, I've only written 2 so far. And
Okay.
I was listening to your talk, so I wasn't doing it.
Yeah. Well, that's probably enough for now. People that are doing
I mean,
exercise.
for the demo, I mean, let's do aggressive drivers because they increasingly bother me now.
Sure.
And I saw a survey. Yeah, go on.
Aggressive drivers drive like they drive. You bother you.
Ouch! Okay.
Okay, so I think what we'll do now, let me just check the next page. I think that would be a good place to transition to going into the overview of, how much time do we have left?
Well, as much as we want, really. I mean, certainly take another 5 to 10 minute chunk here if you need it.
I think we can do another 5 minute chunk right here. That'll be a good setup. Because I'll have all the setup in one video.
Yeah.
You can just chop this discussion out, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're moving on to chapter 11, which in this book is on page 47 of Healing the Me I See in You. And the overview is this process uses what you see in somebody else as a barometer for what's going on in you so that you can heal yourself. And by the way, I do want to put out an acknowledgement to many people prior to me who've done a lot of work on projection, but probably most specifically on this one was Dr. Michael Rice from the Heartland Aramaic Mission, who does a lot of work with this projection. Mm-hmm. And his work was certainly the inspiration that triggered me to do this.
Right.
So some of the little techniques in the setup here. And the first thing we're talking about, I think this is now on page 48, is feelings. In English, the word feelings has 2 different meanings. You have emotional feelings like feeling happy or sad, and physical feelings like feeling tense or relaxed. And in some languages, those would be 2 different words. But in English, we use the same word for both. Mm-hmm. And so in this process, we want to feel both kinds of feelings. So when it says feel, you feel what's going on both emotionally and in your body. And feeling one will help you be more in touch with the other. And by feeling both, your process goes much deeper and much faster.
Right.
Then,
maybe can I just say something, Jerry?
Oh, yes,
there's like 5 key mind modalities that we all function on, basically. There's images in the mind. There's thoughts. There's emotions. What you're calling body, but we just call them body sensations. And there's words. Don't forget words. Words have tremendous volume for constructing reality and changing feelings. In fact, you create most of your thoughts and images and feelings and all those things around words. If you think about it, I am sad. Is without the word sad, what do you say? So those 5 mental kind of tools or modalities are very crucial, and you're picking on certain of them to check because they're the easiest ones to change, right?
Well, they're also very easy to tune into and recognize, but you're absolutely right. The internal dialogue is key. Sometimes they call it the chatter.
Yeah, monkey mind, yappity yap, yes.
So what we're going to do now is focus on the zoom lens tool. Because a lot of times when we look at what we think is bothering us, that's only the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. So to look deeper, we use the zoom lens tool. And so you'll notice in some of the steps, we'll ask you to feel what would come up for you if something were to go on and get worse and worse. And that really zooms right into your feelings and makes it clear what's going on with you at a deeper level. You're talking about the aggressive drivers, for example. When you were living out in the country and you only had, occasional one, it wasn't so bad. But now you're living in the big city and it's happening on and worse and worse. So you're actually experiencing that phenomena. But sometimes we're not in the middle of the phenomena, but we can kind of project what it would be like if it would get to that. And that's when we can really tune into what's really going on. Mm-hmm. So that's what we call the zoom lens tool. And then what you were mentioning before, tightening and holding your breath or wherever you're feeling your breath. So when we use the zoom lens tool, notice where and how you tighten in your body and where and how you hold your breath. And this will guide you as to where and how to heal yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right.
I mentioned it at the point with, of peace and love. I felt a softening and a change in breath rather than a tightening because, that was a wonderful place to be. But
of course,
I know what you're saying. If you do anger, then you do tighten.
When you felt that pain, you could feel it tighten up. Oh, yes. Either way. And that's the whole idea. These are things we can control. even though we have a lot of involuntary breathing and a lot of involuntary muscles, when we tune into them, we actually have far more voluntary control than we realize, just by, as they would say in transactional analysis, living new scripts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I get that. Mm.
So is this a good place with pause from here?
Okay, before we dive right in. Okay, yes, let's take a little break here.
Okay.